Kiera Hart, did you secretly hide some fresh milk? Hand it over now. My boyfriend's younger brother, Matthew Chambers, pinned me against the wall and ran his hands over me, searching everywhere. He had no idea that the sweet scent was not milk. But chapter my name was Kiera Hart. My hormones always ran wild. Even before fully reaching full maturity, my body already developed curves that turned heads due to my hormones. My desires were stronger than most people's, and I constantly felt restless with needs. My boyfriend, Nicholas Chambers, could barely keep up with me in the beginning, and over time, he became completely useless. Seeing him like that left me feeling empty inside. Strangely enough, it was his younger brother who actually caught my attention. His name was Matthew Chambers, and he was just starting college. He was also the captain of the school basketball team. He stood 6'3", with healthy sun-kissed skin and a muscular build. What caught my eye most was how impossible it was to ignore his manhood. You could see it swinging through his shorts when he played basketball. Every time I noticed, my heart raced. With him being so well endowed, I could not help but wonder which lucky college girl would end up with him one day. Nicholas brought me home to meet his parents so they could talk about our engagement. I stayed at their house for a few days. Sure enough, a familiar hunger began to bother me again. I grabbed a milk bottle, filled it to the top, and placed it in the fridge. It felt wasteful to throw something like that away, so I figured Nicholas could drink it later. But that afternoon, Matthew came home sweaty after basketball practice. He grabbed the bottle from the fridge and drank the whole thing in one go. For some reason, watching him drink it sent a strange thrill through me. When he finished, his eyes widened with excitement as he turned the bottle over in his hands. What brand of milk is this? Why is it so sweet and so good? Embarrassed, I simply told him I picked it up at the grocery store. It would be too embarrassing to tell him the truth. However, Matthew stared at my chest. That was when I remembered I did not put my bra back on after filling the bottle earlier. Beneath my loose shirt, the two tiny bumps were impossible to miss. Under his stare, I could already feel myself growing weak. I tensed every muscle in my body and fought to stay composed, just so I would not do anything humiliating in front of him. He sniffed the air and said innocently, "That's weird. Why does it smell so strongly like milk?" I looked down and saw that my shirt was already soaked through. Drops of creamy white liquid seeped out one by one. Right then, my whole face turned burning red. Matthew looked at me and asked, "Kiera, why is your face so red? Are you feeling sick?" I quickly answered, "And no, I'm fine. Maybe I'm just coming down with a cold." Luckily, he was innocent enough not to realize what actually soaked through my shirt. Seeing how flushed I was, Matthew said, "Kiera, you should rest. You look really unwell." The second he said that, I rushed back to the guest room and shut the door behind me. If I stayed 1 second longer, I would not have been able to hold myself together. Once I was alone, the tension eased a little. I quickly took my clothes off, grabbed another glass bottle from the desk, and filled it with what was overflowing. At that moment, Matthew's face appeared in my mind. I imagined his hands on me, squeezing me hard. The fire burning inside me only grew hotter, and the ache deep within me became impossible to ignore. When I looked at the full bottle in my hand, I felt this strange emptiness. Doing it like this always left me frustrated. I wondered what if Matthew just drank it straight from me. It would be so thrilling. Dinner time came around. I sat at the table with Nicholas and his family. Halfway through the meal, Matthew suddenly asked, "Hey, Kiera, what brand was that milk I drank earlier?" "I'll ask Mom to get more later." Mrs. Chambers overheard and laughed. "You're too grown to still be obsessed with drinking milk." Hearing that he liked it so much secretly thrilled me, but since it was not store-bought, I could only smile. I said, "If you want some, I'll bring you a bottle every day. I've got one more bottle left. Let me go get it." I got up, went back to my room, and grabbed the fresh bottle I just filled. Matthew held the bottle in his hands, looking surprised. This